Sorry. Didn't know the camera was on. So a little bit ago, I got myself a Nintendo Game Boy. And when I mean a little bit ago, I really mean 2 months ago. When I got it, it didn't come with a game, so the only one that I can't get on the 3DS eShop is Tetris, because it was removed a while ago. So, if you could see it, Tetris. That's the one that I got. But in this video, I'm not going to review Tetris, I'm going to review the Game Boy itself. So, let's go. So let's start off with the most obvious thing first, the screen. Now the screen itself is perfectly okay. The amount of pixels for back then, it's fine. It's perfectly fine. It's a retro console after all. But it's pretty much a no-brainer to complain that there is no backlight. You can't play anything in the dark. It's gotta be only in the light strictly. Sometimes it's okay, but sometimes you really need to get a good angle, which could become a headache. But other than that, it's perfectly fine. It doesn't even matter if there's no color. I mean, the Game Boy Color was invented for a reason, but this thing sold even past the Sega Game Gear, which means people did not care that it wasn't in color yet. Black and white, or green, I guess. I don't even care if it's not in color. So I guess that's it for the screen. Now, let's move on to the D-pad. The D-pad is... I mean, the D-pad's fine, it works, but it feels like it's too small in the slot, so it wiggles around, if you know what I mean. But still, it's acceptable. Now, the start and select button, on the other hand, they are way too mushy, and the shape of them, they are not good. They're not satisfying to press in the slightest, and they don't always work. I understand it's just the design of the Game Boy, but come on. Now, the A and B button, they are perfectly fine. I do wish they were flipped the other way around, so for like modern day consoles, you could just move your thumb around and you could press 2 buttons at the same time. But I'm okay with this. It's not a big bother to me. Cicadas outside. So, the speaker. For the time, speaker is pretty good. It is too quiet sometimes. Like, even the DSi, in my opinion, the speaker is still too quiet, but it's okay. It is stereo after all, and even with earbuds in, it makes it even better. So don't really have a right to complain about the speaker. Come to think of it, it's still too quiet in the 2DS XL. Guess not all things improve fast enough. Alright, I'm not going to talk too much about the contrast wheel because I don't really use it. But it does have a right to be there. It is good that it is there. Again, I never use it, but some other people do. Alright, another thing, I'm also glad this thing exists. I don't have a reason to own the cable for it. But yeah, you could plug 2 Game Boys into each other, transfer each other's Pokemon. I'm not a Pokemon fan, but hey, also glad it's there. Wireless wasn't quite a thing yet. Alright, so I kind of integrated this with when I talked about the speaker, but let me just quickly go over the headphone jack. Depending on what earbuds you have, it may sound bad or pretty good actually. May I recommend these? They're Panasonic, and they sound pretty good. They're pretty good for non-Bluetooth devices. So Cartridge Slot. It's not very satisfying to put a game in and out because there's no click, and usually when there's a click, it's a lot more satisfying. But at least the game still plays, so it's fine. Also, it's actually really hard to take out a game if you have sweaty hands. So the second to last thing I guess I'll talk about is the battery light. It's good that there's an LED light there, but I feel like it should only turn on when the batteries are low. I just feel like it makes better sense. Editor Cameron here. Apparently, the light turns off when your batteries die. My batteries haven't died yet, so I never knew, but my god, that is backwards. Now, the last thing I will talk about are the batteries. This thing takes 4 batteries. That's a lot, but it's not that bad. And another thing, it's before the charging age was a thing. So if you kept this in a box and never want to open it for a long time, or never, there is no chance that the batteries would degrade over time. Unlike the brand new Game & Watch that just came out for Mario's anniversary, where if you kept it in the box for too long, the batteries will get ugly. So that's pretty much it. This thing came out during a time where people didn't complain about the bezel yet, and pretty much every piece of technology that you came across was this weird dark white color. I'm gonna keep my best to keep it out of the sunlight, because I know that it yellows a lot over time if you keep it in the sunlight. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Stay green.